I figured it was time to practice what I've been preaching a little bit. We've been doing all these grinding streams, and I've been talking about how I'm thinking future release Great Ones, I may not do Great One grinds, and just how much I prefer wandering type hunts. If we're doing that, or talking about that, all the time on streams while we're grinding, it doesn't make a lot of sense, so we're going to wander around Vurhonga, see what we find today. I imagine we'll end up talking about the game yesterday quite a bit, and I figured a grind maybe wouldn't be the ideal thing for that either, so let's see what Vurhonga has in store. We've really not messed with our single player too much, so I think that'll be good. What's going on, Asher? Kolb's in here, Kyla's in here, Joshua coming in with the 11 months. I want to say the renewals, whatever they're called, don't always show up on the alerts, so let's go ahead and smoke that kudu. What's up? How you loving this PA weather? Dude, it's fantastic. We were out with Shadow earlier, just running around, throwing the ball. I'm sure we're still going to get snow again, like, before it's officially spring. But it's a nice little break from what was some pretty cold weather anyway. What's going on, Sassy Bull? Been a long time since I was in the stream. How have you been? Good. Been really good. I've just been, you know, the last couple of weeks, like, enjoying everything finally winding down from hunting season, the holidays, travel, all that good stuff. So just kind of, you know, chilling out a little bit, and I'm enjoying it. Is that the Argus? It is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring this upon you. What's up, mistress? Holy Lord, I'm so sick it's not even funny, so you'd better appreciate that I dragged my butt here. Eat beans, it'll cure you. What kind of sick? Hopefully not the bad kind. Just wait till March. You always get snow in March here in PA. I feel like, yeah, March and April is some of the worst. Last year it was April 19th, April 20th. We got a thick snowstorm again. Just seems to be the way. Birthday shenanigans? I don't know where that extra syllable just came from. What's going on, Acid? Thank you for the 21 months, Reverse 12. Welcome back. Appreciate you. I don't know where we're going, by the way. I want to spend some time, like, close-ish to water, because Eurasian widgeon are a target species for sure on this map, and I don't think we're going to find a bunch away from the water. Then again, we're not going to kill many, because 22. Strap throat, that's not cool. No need to say it was Revs versus the Eagles? I don't think it was that, frankly. I don't think you really should throw that flag in the situation they did, but it was generally, like, a clean game and everything. It just sucks that it sucks from a fan perspective, I think, more so than actual competitive advantage, fairness stuff, because everybody wants to see what's going to happen if, you know, there's 2 minutes left and the Eagles get the ball. Defensive holding? What? Are you on multiplayer servers? Now, I was sticking with single player today. I haven't streamed multiplayer other than in the Hunter Classic in, boy, years, probably? He admitted to holding? Yeah. But that's, to me, is really what he said. He said he was hoping he'd let it go and stuff. And this is more so the problem than that flag right there. It's like, earlier in the game, there was the obvious pass interference on Bradbury with Smith-Schuster again, and they didn't flag it. In the playoffs, they let a lot of stuff go. And you can almost argue that the cornerbacks are like, okay, I can play this way. And then they get flagged for doing the same thing they don't get flagged for all game. It's just tough. Like, if they could just rev it consistently, we wouldn't have these issues. Been a walk-in pharmacy for the last 24 hours. That sounds like a good time. That call reminds me of the call in last year's Super Bowl. It didn't really change the outcome. The winning team most likely still wins, but the optics of it, yeah, you just don't want, you don't want that to be the conversation. With the new DLC coming up, what do you think it's going to be? Okay, so we had this conversation recently. I don't think it's going to be a weapon pack, because we just got handguns November-ish? Is that right? Maybe that's not right. What did we get November? I swear I had this in my head that it wasn't going to be a weapon, so maybe a new species somewhere? Could be something like that. Goodness, almost missed RedneckJay there with the 46 months, almost 4 years indeed. Welcome back, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well. And Joshua coming through with the super chat. Love your content. Been a while since I've been able to catch you live. Much love. Also just got a 380 pistol from the 1930s. Nice, man. That's awesome. We were at a gun raffle recently that had a 380 that I was hoping to get, but I did not. I'm sure it was not, though, from an era long ago. What's up, Mel? Let's see if we can smoke this fella. Woo, that was high. Lung, I hope. Might have lucked out. Yellow dono. Holy, the biggest dono I've ever seen. Sometimes I miss the days when wildebeests were just diamonds, seemingly, you know, one per herd, sometimes more. Makes them more interesting when they actually make it, though. What's up, Joe? How's it going, man? I'm so sick of Classic, I wish I had a good PC to play Call of the Wild. Do you... Let me think here. Well, alright, I guess I'm getting my camera. Do you... Like, have you done, like, missions and stuff in Classic? I'm trying to think of how I try to spice up Classic. Are you excited for Aurora Shores? Very. I think that's going to be the main kind of focus of content for at least a week or two when it finally comes out. I can't wait for the crossbow, kind of seeing how that works. We just did that video, was it over the weekend? Saturday, I think. Unlocking tier 3 calls, get all the way like almost done with the video, and then realize that probably it's not going to matter because it's a new character on Aurora Shores, so gonna be interesting. I'm really curious to see how they handle that. Holding or no holding, Mahomes overthrew him by 5 yards regardless? Maybe. Is it... Does he make that throw at all if there's not a holding? Because I kind of think he was thrown to a spot, really. Did we not kill that wildebeest? Huh. I just kind of assumed we got it. I'm officially done with the full Red Dead 2 story and starting to get burned out on it. Vurhonga might be my first return to Call of the Wild. I really enjoyed this map when we came here, and it certainly helped to get 2 rares, but when we came here in yesterday's video, I just like wandering around on it. There's something about it. Maybe it's the fact that it's almost exclusively big game, or like it's exotic species, obviously to me at least. Someone who lives in South Africa may not agree with the exotic thing, obviously, but I just have a good time, like regardless of what you find, it's always cool. A week ago, I got my first Diamond K Buffalo. Nice. When did you get into hunting? I basically grew up around it. I remember... I think I was 6 years old or so. Why are we slightly lagging? Hang on. Maybe drop, like, shadow quality down? I hate when it's skippy. Anyway, I remember being, like, 6 years old. My dad got his 10-point, which remains to be his biggest buck. There's pictures of all of us standing there with it and him having, you know, propped up on the quad and stuff. I don't know how old I was. It was around that age where I got into, like, some small game hunting. So Dad would take us squirrel hunting for groundhogs in the fields and all that good stuff. And I started deer hunting at 10. But, you know, I was... Big Game Hunter 2004 was, like, my first hunting game. So I was waiting to get out there from, you know, pretty early ages. Grew up being hunted, that's right, that's what I meant. I live in South Africa and I still love it. See, I think that's the ultimate test, because I do really like Layton. I don't live in the Pacific Northwest, but, you know, North America, similar species at least on the map. But like New England, which is close, you know, it's as close as I'm ever going to get to a Pennsylvania map in Call of the Wild. I don't care for it too much. So that really says that they've done a good job with Vurhonga. Out of curiosity, these guys, Widgeon, does that make sense? Is that like a reasonable thing? I bought 1,000 rounds for this purpose, by the way. I'm gonna miss a lot today. If you had $20 on Steam, what would you buy? There's a good question. What would I buy if I had $20 on Steam? I would buy... What's that, like, Planet Zoo-like dinosaur game? I'd probably get that. Oh, hello. Prehistoric Hunt? There's a good one, too. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Kyla has a bunch of videos on it. In fact, literally tomorrow, we have a little collab coming out on Kyla's channel on said game. The widgets don't make sense. The last recorded sighting I could find references to was ages ago. It's a weird decision. I don't mind, like, the... Like, it seemed to me the idea was to backfill one species per map, if not more. And then there was the whole deal with, like, blacktail don't really fit on SRP, but maybe Widgeon shouldn't have got Shifted over here to Vurhonga then. Got a diamond and brown Cape Buffalo a few days ago. Nice. They remain to be one of my favorite things. And it's kind of cool that they're an uncommon. I wouldn't mind if they were a rare. How often are Cape Buffalo that coloration? Or is it almost overdone? Because I can imagine like a... almost kind of how Shadow is. She's mostly black in color, but in the sunlight, she's almost closer to a brown color. Which I'm thinking Cape Buffalo could be something like that. But, I don't know. Got trolled by a legendary water buffalo yesterday. Ooh, by like less than 0.3. They're the worst. Their scoring is so weird. It sucks when they don't make it, because they used to be a little more common. I feel like they're a rare diamond these days. Excuse you. Alright, fine. How was the Super Bowl? I was coming off a flight and couldn't watch. It was a good game. It's gonna have a conversation of controversy around it from the end, which I think it was basically, if you don't know, there was a defensive holding called on a 3rd down, which, if the Chiefs didn't convert, would have basically put them up 3 with 3 minutes to go and the Eagles getting the ball. 2 minutes to go, sorry. And the defensive holding basically just ends the game. I think it was a defensive holding, but I don't think because of the way the game was being refereed that they should have thrown the flag, because they were letting them play the rest of the game. And it's just kind of like, from a fan perspective, you would have wanted to see what the Eagles could have done. But I'm not sitting here saying it was the wrong call. It's just consistency. What, Space Cowboy? My chicken is hot? That's good. They need to add Q's deer, or Cal's deer, depending on how you pronounce it. The biggest challenge to that now, because I think they could fit on Rancho, but they already have whitetail. Now maybe, because Reventuli has become such like a popular whitetail grinding map, you may be able to avoid some of the backlash, because my argument for a long time with Q's deer has been Rancho is like the premier whitetail grinding map, and you're going to get so much backlash if you take them off, because you can't really have whitetail and Q's deer on the same map. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. So you kind of get stuck where if you do change it to be more realistic, everyone's going to complain. But it might be better now. Maybe they could do that. I would like it. I love Q's deer. I think they're one of the coolest species. What was the... Which Cabela's game are they in that we played? Outdoor Adventures, I think? And they get huge, which they shouldn't in that game, but it's like the only game you can hunt them in. Favorite map. Leighton Lakes remains to be my favorite. I think Vurhonga is my second favorite. Add Arizona map. You know, that would be kind of neat. Could you not do Coos deer, mule deer, Rocky Mountain elk, bighorn? There's a little bit of SRP-like, but like a deserty map. Pronghorn, a lot of these are old species, but that'd be a neat map. I'd like it. Let's all lobby for that. Is the Ogre Wolf on the Quattro missions considered a rare? It's an exclusive fur type. That's the only place you can get it, so I guess so. It's also like a guaranteed spawn. Little known fact, or at least not everybody knows this fact, the level that it spawns at is random. You can get it as a diamond. You can get it as like a level 3 male. Completely random. What do you mean by new character in Way the Hunter? So if you look at the trailer, it briefly shows a female character with the crossbow and everything, and I want to say, is it on Steam? Or in the trailer description? I don't need to go and find the exact quote. It's something to the effect of that you're playing as like a wildlife biologist or something, which River Knox is not. He's a stuntman. So there has to be a new character. It's not just like a new character option or something. It's a completely new character. Not rare, it's exclusive. I like it. Do you prefer Classic or Call of the Wild? That's always a tough question for me to answer. It's the same answer for me like when someone asks if I prefer Call of the Wild or Way the Hunter, because it just sort of depends. It's too low, I think. Now we got it. Cool. So there are days where I'm just like, I don't have the patience to deal with Way the Hunter or Classic. Some days I just want to, go shoot a bunch of stuff and have a good time. Other days, I'm more so up for the challenge of Classic or Way of the Hunter, and I kind of prefer those. So it depends on what day you ask me. Today is more of a Call of the Wild day, frankly. I have been working on a number of things. Kyle and I each have a collab video coming out on our respective channels tomorrow. We play Prehistoric Hunt on her channel, Call of the Wild on my channel. Then I've been working on my Clips channel, which did launch today. Basically, some of you guys know the Flinter channel. Was my second channel for a long time. All the Subnautica VODs are there, a couple of Red Dead VODs, and then I kind of didn't keep up with them. And it's been more or less dead for like 2 years. We're reviving that, and we're turning it into a Clips channel, so short form content. Things like, you know, stream clips, old videos kind of cut down into 2 to 5 minute clips, just like the interesting stuff. And I'm really excited about that. It's been a bit of a project kind of getting it there, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cool to bring things back. Like one of the clips I have ready-made that's not out yet, it'll be out this week sometime, is getting to play Call of the Wild in its like semi-public beta in December of 2016. I don't think a lot of people even know that I did that. Like, it was forever ago. So I think it's going to be cool to revive a little bit of that content in short form. Clips, what about magazines? Oh, that would have been clever. The channel art is like a, what's that called? A clapper? Like at the start of a video, they have the little thing and they take one, that stuff. It's that and then like film. I should have put a magazine on there. What's up, Peyton? Aaron's in here as well. You should make them in short form if you can mess with the aspect ratio. Oh, I see what you're saying. So here's my theory on this, and I'm just going to tell you guys straight up like my thinking. I am going to do some shorts. I have one already ready to go. Should I tell you what it is? I don't think it's an extremely rare moment, but I think it's going to be cool to have as a short. You guys know that 161 meter longbow bison heart shot we had on SRP? Making a short out of that, and there's going to be some other ones too. My thinking is, when people watch YouTube shorts, they watch one, maybe like it, scroll to the next. I think with clips, you're more so wanting to stick around, which is the hope with any YouTube channel, so it's going to be a mix of both, but yeah, there's going to be some shorts there too. Definitely great short material. It's one of my favorite Call of the Wild moments. The cool thing is too, like when you make Call of the Wild into a vertical aspect ratio, you cut off the spotting info on the right. When you're shooting a bison that's, I don't know, a level 3, I think, nobody cares what the spotting says. Like, that's not relevant, so it's perfect for a short. What about jean shorts? I think you'd look great in them. Do you think they should add a lion great one? Of the species that are out there right now, lions would probably be top 3 for me. I think mule deer are number 1, elk would be number 2, and then lions. When are you going to do a farming sim video? I don't know for sure about farming sim videos just yet. Next Sunday, though, over on Twitch, we're going to start some farming sim streams. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be, 11 a.m., noon, somewhere in there it'll start. And I think we're going to do a multiplayer server, so if you play farming sim and you want to start a new farm, have at. I don't know what the limit on those is, 8 or 16 people, I think. But it should be fun. Just gonna hang out. I'll probably try to maybe find a different playlist on Epidemic Sound just to have a little something different. It'll just be super chill vibes. I think it's gonna be fun. Hunter Call of the Wild, I prefer the Big Buck World Arcade Cabinet. Hey, those games were great. It was always such a disappointment when you go to like a birthday party or something and that cabinet was out of order, which always seemed to happen for some reason. Could spend my entire life savings on those games. Do you think they'll add an Australia map? I'd say it's likely. Like, one thing that we've been able to fairly reliably do over the years is look at like where are gaps on the map. That's why Greenland has been a prediction for me, because there's no maps up here. And then Australia. Your next option is Asia. Like, other than putting maps in places we already have, those are the only couple of major gaps on the world map. Pac-Man? Oh, I thought you were saying we should play Pac-Man. I was very confused. Speaking of old arcade games. Danny, thank you for the super chat. Good to see you. Did it also annoy you that last night they made Mahomes' ankle getting yanked sound like he stepped on a landmine? they probably made more out of it than most players getting hurt, to be fair, but that's just what they do. Question, are you happy the Chiefs won? I sure am. Here's where my thing was. So first of all, my sister's fiance is an Eagles fan, so I don't really want to be the guy rooting against... Like, if the Chiefs were my team, sure, I'm going to root for them. But because I'm a Steeler fan, you know, it's whatever. My team's not playing. So I don't really want to be the guy rooting against somebody who, like, you know, has actually been hoping their team gets there kind of thing. But my whole perspective on the Chiefs and, like, why I kind of wanted them to win is I think Mahomes has a chance to make the GOAT conversation interesting and gets another ring, and he's that much closer to doing so. Chase, thank you for becoming a channel member. Good to have you here, man. If you are not already in the Discord, be sure to join that. Link up your YouTube, get the member role, all that good stuff. And enjoy the emojis here in chat, and the green name as well. Speaking of Mahomes, how does this logistically make him my dad from our combo in the football chat? You know how... Was it the mayor or the governor of Cincinnati? Mayor, right? He tried to have, like, Burrow take a paternity test to see if he was Mahomes' father. It's like that. How do you make your spotted thingy time so short? I don't think there is... Well, could it be... There's a skill? Tag? Oh, level 1 increases the duration of the traced outline. Do you have that? Because I don't. That's the only thing I can think of that would maybe impact it. Gotta keep on looking for level 3s, even though these things, for some reason, are flying like the, is it called Blue Angels, I think? They think they're flying in fancy patterns. I can't wait to not kill one of these all day. Alright, see you later. Started playing with Hunter, nice. What's your favorite rifle? In game, I'm assuming you're asking about. I love the 7mm. The 308's fantastic, the M1's great, but the 7mm's so versatile. We just used it in yesterday's video and caught a couple rares with it. You're very good at shooting ducks? Why, thank you. It's the nicest thing anyone said to me today. I'm sure that was genuine and not sarcastic at all. I'm good at reloading, too. This is the only reason I like Mondays? Okay, so I almost started the stream by saying, Happy Monday. And then I realized that's not a thing you say on Monday, it's a thing you say on Friday, so I didn't do it. In this ammo economy, I bought 1,000 rounds before this, a whole heckin' chest of 22 ammo just to miss. What about a Saskatchewan map with Specklebelly geese, snow geese, Canada geese, mallard, pintail, widgeon, and gadwall? That'd be an interesting, like, twist on a waterfowl map, because Reventuli's a bit of... It's a bit of a hybrid, I guess. Lots of waterfowl map makes sense. But they didn't entirely go, like, waterfowl focused. And then the next thing I think of is in the Hunter Classic. Was that a big... No, it was 811. Anyway, Rougarou Bayou. It's just like a Louisiana swamp map. Perfect kind of thing for waterfowl. So I like the idea of doing something completely different. Assuming those species are common there, because I have no idea. I'm doing great. Best gun to use on Rocky Mountain elk? I'd go 300 personally. The 7mm will get it done, the 338 will get it done, but having that extra, like, opportunity for a follow-up shot because the 300 has the 4-round capacity, that makes a huge difference. You know, if there's two bulls standing side by side, you want to get both, or if you miss the first shot, things like that are just... They help in this game. Every single, you know, extra kill you get, if you're doing a grind or trying to get a diamond or anything, it just shaves that little bit of time off. Have you considered hosting a duck shooting masterclass? See, I thought about it, but I don't want to brag. Like, it just, you know. I'm a Jets fan. I just wonder what you think about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets. I kind of hope he does, because it would be hilarious. Brett Favre ends up in such a similar situation, what, 15 years ago? And if he didn't get hurt, the Jets might have had a legit shot that year. So I think that'd be kind of funny, poetic justice kind of thing. As for, do I think he'd make them a contender? Maybe. I kind of think he still has it, but he has to break out of that like, afraid to make a mistake mold. Because you look at the guys that are successful now. I got one! Holy! It's the... You know, Josh Allen throws a lot of interceptions, but he's also taking chances. Mahomes is throwing it down the field. Even, you know, Burrow throws down the field a lot. I think this year Rodgers was kind of afraid to do that. Maybe he didn't feel familiar with his receivers, but he's gotta not do that. About time. Hey now. I'm just getting warmed up. I'm gonna kill 12 by the end of the hunt. Where'd it go? Wait. Oh, I shot the wrong one. Oops. What'd you think of Super Bowl 57 last night between the Chiefs and the Eagles? So I thought it was probably the best Super Bowl since the last time the Eagles played, Super Bowl 52, against the Patriots, which I think are you a Patriots fan? I always thought your logo was the Patriot thing, but actually it might not be. Either way, you know, it was generally high scoring, it wasn't really marred by controversy, and then you get to the last 2 minutes, and I still don't necessarily think it was the wrong call or anything, but it's going to generate controversy, which sucks. You want the play on the field, well, by the guys not dressed in black and white stripes to be the conversation. I can't believe I shot a hen. Should I even shoot at these? They're kind of far. We're not. What do you think the next great one will be? Well, we got a non-antlered great one with the black bear, and then we get the moose. I think they can afford to do another antlered great one. I'm really hoping for mule deer. As much as, like, I've been talking about maybe not doing a grind for the future release great ones, mule deer is a species I would grind for, and I just think they'd look amazing, so why not do it? You're ahead? Thank you. I'm English, and we just don't get the Super Bowl. American football is such a long game anyway, and then they add even more to it. As in the halftime show and stuff? Well, who has time for that? It is the most, at least in this country, the most viewed sporting event by, like, a huge margin. And I don't even mean just the Super Bowl. Like, any primetime football game outdoes literally anything, so I guess a lot of people have time for it. I do. I watch it. I didn't watch much of the halftime show. It was alright, by the way. Like, compared to past halftime shows, I thought it was fine. Don't really follow Rihanna or anything, but the last couple were just so all over the place. Betting problems. Hey. Don't include me in that. I'm a huge Patriots fan. What about you? Who are your favorite teams you love to root for anyways? I'm a Steeler fan, but a Steeler fan since I was super young. I basically started watching football in 2004, and the Steelers won it all in 05, and then 08, and then they forgot how to do any good in the playoffs from then on out. I'm really good at this. Good. Top tier pregnancy reveal. That was a way to do it. What was your favorite commercial? I don't even know if I have one. I know Adam Driver was in one, which I remember a little bit of. Mr. Beast was in one. I can't remember what it was though. The Tubi commercial? That one will be my favorite because I had the remote. And as soon as that came on, it was is that Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson? I know it's Olson. I can never keep the commentator straight. Regardless, as soon as it came on, I was like, that's a commercial. The lighting's different and stuff than it's been, and then that happened. And it still got me for a second. I was still like, did I do that? I wanted to see why this commercial that's clearly not, you know, live is being played with these guys right now. They got me good. The Jeep one? I don't even know what the Jeep one was. We were having all kinds of conversations. We were talking about, like, you know, turkey hunting this spring and where we're going to go and all kinds of stuff. I didn't pay much attention. I didn't feel like a lot of commercials were, like, I don't know, memorable. In past years, good or bad, you remember them? I didn't feel like many were much different than a typical football game. You got tricked as well? I mean, as I just said, memorable. That is one that they'll get you for. Or with. Do you still play fishing games? I haven't played any since... Basically, since I learned how the legendary fish in Call of the Wild the Angler work, they just made me sad. They could have done so much better and made them so much more special and so much more of an achievement to get. And instead it's kind of just like whoever finds it first has an achievement and everybody else learns where it's spawning from said guy who finds it first and just goes and gets it. It ain't what I was hoping for. And I've thought about it several times, like, let's play the angler today. Maybe I'll get a legend. Well, that's not fun. I know where they are. I just gotta go and look in the Discord and see where it's spawning. So I hope they change that. What's going on, winners? How's your day going? Just watched the stream clip on Flinter. Very funny. Why, thank you, man. I'm excited for that stuff. We've got another one coming out this evening. It is not a stream clip. It's a video clip from early 2018. About 5 years ago. And I think that's what's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be, you know, modern stream clips, there'll be old stream clips, and there's also going to be video clips, both new and old. The oldest video clip I have prepared right now that's going to come out is 2016. It's fun to go back and see how different things were back then in the game. I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing all that stuff and getting to get it out there again. I should have gotten that one. That was close. And I don't mean close like I almost hit it. I mean they were physically close. I was tired while playing Way the Hunter. Didn't realize a bear ran in front of my car. Ended up being a 94% mature male. What are the odds? That's really unfortunate. Here we go again. Holy! That's a male this time. Do you remember when you shot the 1,000 coyote? I do. That one will have to be... I'm saving some of the, like the obvious memorable moments for down the line a little bit, because I don't want to do, like, literally, you know, the best of Flantro moments all in the next 2 weeks and then not have anything good. But the 1,000 coyote, obviously, like, super rares that we've gotten, that stuff will be down the line. The video clip that's coming tonight from 2018 is a pretty, like... If I were to come up with the top 10 moments we've had in Call of the Wild, I'd put it in there. What's the main animal you're going for this stream? It's kind of like, the whole idea with the wandering around Vurhonga thing is, let's see what we find. But my hope is to maybe stumble into a level 3 Eurasian Woodgeon. It's probably unlikely, but it could happen. You know, if we had a shotgun here, and if these actually spawn in, they're pretty low. They're right now unspottable, which means you can't kill them. Shoot the like button. We used to say it all the time. Woo, look at that cloud go. Gonna laugh if the duck's a female. That would have been awkward. Cut up the best moments of the great one whitetail and put them into a short. Yeah, I think for that one we're gonna do like a clip, which will probably be 3 to 5 minutes, and a short. Because I have actually, I've already made it. I think I put it on Instagram maybe. I made like a 1 minute version of the great one, which was cool that, you know, there's... You think of that's a 30-something minute video. Most of it's not actually chasing the great one at the time. But the fact that it can be boiled down to a minute is kind of fun. Goodbye, friend. How do you keep motivation to continue to play this game for so long? I think it's a combination of two things. Number one is, like, I'm a bit of a completionist. So not having every diamond in the game at the moment, like that's why we keep shooting at these stupid widgeon. Trying to get respawns for level 3. That's something that motivates me to get back out and keep on trying to chip away at that list of species that we're missing. And then also I just, with the variety now between Call of the Wild, Classic, and Way the Hunter, I never really feel like I get burnout or bored. I'm getting a little burnout with grinding, which is partially why we're doing this today, but that's grinding as a whole and not as much to do with how much time I put into it. I just kind of... This is the way I prefer to hunt in this game. Like, just let's see what we can find. Grinding is cool. Like, it can produce some cool results. I don't want to make it something that we're doing literally every stream. Check the area around the old Gensbuck Lake in the southwest. Right here. Can do. What do you think of the Sean Payton hire? Okay, that's actually a good question. I don't have a great answer as far as how good the Broncos are going to be because of it. I think he's probably going to... He has a better likelihood of, air quotes, fixing Russell Wilson than failing to do so. But I guess I somehow missed that he was like a super chill, likable guy. Because even on TV this year on Fox, I think he was being careful to not say anything that would potentially jeopardize a future job, because he still wanted to coach, obviously. So he was almost like uptight. He never really felt comfortable on TV to me. But this Radio Row this week before the Super Bowl, he was on like the Pat McAfee show, Rich Eisen show, Pro Football Talk, and he was like really great to listen to. I probably watched an hour of Sean Payton content this week. He's just super cool dude. I don't know if it was the Bounty Gate or like why I had the impression that he was like not a Bill Belichick type necessarily, but kind of standoffish and stuff. I was completely wrong about him. I think they finished with a better record than the Raiders and the Chargers. Brandon Staley still, yeah. I don't have anything against Brandon Staley, but I just don't think he's the answer there. Do you follow the Kelsey Brothers podcast? I don't actually follow it, but their shorts come up on my YouTube feed all the time, and I'll watch them. They're fun to listen to. I got the impression Jason Kelsey was going to retire last night. Like, he just looked dejected, like that it ended that way, I think. Maybe it was just in general. You know, losing to your brother in a Super Bowl has got to be a thing. Can I give you a challenge for the stream? I can't promise I'll do it, but yeah, good. You're a Steelers fan, right? Indeed. Waterbuck could be a cool addition. Is that a species in Africa? I feel like it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Herbert cried when he found out Staley still had a job. It just like... I don't know, there's something off about them. That's pretty fun. Can we make a 400-meter shot with the 243 right now? Gonna be close to him rendering back out. That says 385, but I think we're over 4. 401. Let's go like just a little bit more. Probably just gonna miss, but... That's actually true, Bottom Boy. I forgot about the Kellen Moore part. Maybe that'll help him out. Okay, that's a plus. We actually hit it. Doesn't look like we hit it in the vitals. He might die. We'll see. Does this hunting game have any bugs you hate? I mean, I kind of hate this. See that bar below the binocular overlay? That bugs me because surely that's not a difficult fix. They don't have any like major ones going on right now that I just can't stand. There have been plenty of times where that's been the case, but I can't think of anything like game breaking at the moment. You played chess? I have maybe never played chess. I'm not smart enough for that. Which species would you most want to see redone? Speaking of that, if you didn't know, maybe this is where you got the inspiration for the question. Mel's Gaming has a video literally going over the top 5 species that she feels need a remodel in the game, and there was a little back and forth before said video was made, kind of talking about what species that may be, so check it out. Good stuff. What do I think's the most in need one? It's probably like a base game species. Most, like, scrub hair, Leighton bunnies, whitetail jackrabbit, European hare. Those definitely, I feel like, need one because they just do not hold up next to Eastern Cottontails and mountain hare. Blacktail's a good one. Mule deer, like, their models need fixed. Their antlers are okay. Bighorn, yes, please, God. The models themselves are already not that good. But the horns, I've never understood that. The mule deer racks look odd. I personally think it's because the mule deer themselves are weird. I think they rescaled them too, kind of like Axis do, right? They used to be physically smaller. I'm almost certain of that. I literally said there should be bison in Nez Perce 2 days later the trailer drops. Bison would have been a cool Nez Perce species, but even better on Aurora Shores, I think. Is a copper bighorn sheep rare or uncommon? I think just uncommon. Rosie better model and antler? Yeah, like, I don't mind their models too much, but textures at least could be better, you know, kind of have some proper fur. What are the odds that one that we hit is here? Because he didn't die. The black buck look great. Did they change them? The black buck they didn't change. We were talking about blacktail. I didn't say black buck, did I? I could have. Best loadout. I gotta make like a 2023 updated version. It's a challenge now. Your friend with you? No? It's a challenge now to come up with one because we have species in the game that require you to shoot them out of the air to get the medal. So that pretty much means you need a shotgun. It almost puts you in a situation where you want to carry 5 guns. But if you want to avoid that, in my opinion, it's the 12 gauge pump, 7mm, 243 pistol, and 22 LR. You, with that loadout, still have some space for like collars or multiple scopes and stuff, and I think that's about as good as it gets for a universal loadout in 2023. Something about the fallow model doesn't sit right with me. They look slimy sometimes. Wait, can you describe slimy? Like actually slimy? Like how some things in Call of the Wild have that texture for they've been in the rain? Is that what you're saying? I'm not, by the way, saying that you're only talking about the rain one, because I think I know what you mean, but I want you to describe it. They do look slimy. I don't know what you, like I have an idea of maybe what you're talking about, but slimy is not the way I would have described it, so maybe that's just a me thing. The inline muzzler needs to be able to zero further. If they're going to let you zero the cap lock to 200, there's zero reason the inline shouldn't go further, I agree. Favorite shotgun in real life? Mine's the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3, so I don't have any, like, you know, high-end shotguns or anything. I have my grandfather's Remington model 1187. I think it's technically in a model 1100, but that same thing is now manufactured as an 1187. Anyway, I guess I'll go with that because, like, my dad also has one. I think I shot my first turkey with that. I shot my second turkey with that. Either way, neat little thing there. So it's a specific gun that has, like, a sentimental thing. I think that's happening to a lot of people, Kyla. At least I'm getting the impression, because we haven't dropped frames or anything. But I'm getting the impression today that the chat delay is a little bit higher than normal. What's up, Nick? Do you ever hunt with that drilling rifle that has the option to switch between shotgun and rifle? I want to say we used it for a hunt somewhere, like, not terribly long ago. It may have been more than a month or two ago. What typically happens is I'll take it to, like, Silver Ridge Peaks or something. And I'll think, this will be cool. We can kill turkeys with the 16 gauge. We can kill, you know, everything else with the 9.3. And then I realize its class is 5 to 9. And I'll shoot like a pronghorn unethically or something like that. And then I take the gun out of my loadout. It's a challenge to find the perfect map for it. Would have picked Egyptian geese over Eurasian widgeon. That'd be neat. They were basically backfilling, so they were adding species that already existed. So I understand why they did the widgeon, but I like your idea better. Gotta go, bye, have a good stream. Thank you, man. We'll hopefully catch you in the next one. What's up, Farmer Brown? Max weight for mallard is 2.1 kilo, which is an interesting number. It's a good question, Maximus. What bow am I going to use for 2023-2024 season? So, I don't want to speak out of turn or anything, but at the ATA show, we met Darton. They're sponsoring us this year as well, and I guess what I'll say is, if everything goes smoothly and according to plan, I should have their new bow, which will be coming out in like October, the Veracity. In theory, I guess I would be able to get my hands on it a little sooner than the regular release, but if that's not the case, if they can't, go through with that for whatever reason they may have, I'll have the Spectra 32 again. Which I like just fine. The Veracity, if you guys saw that video on the Meat Hunters channel, I did get to shoot it. It's the craziest thing. It's a 35-inch axle-to-axle bow. It's about 5 pounds. I swear it's like a cloud. It's just balanced beautifully. I really want to get to shoot it because I think it's great. And there's something about longer axle-to-axle bows. I have a better time shooting them accurately. The red, white, and blue bow, you guys may recall that, which, by the way, the Veracity comes in red, white, and blue, so I really want to do that. That one was 34, I think. And I've never had a bow that I could shoot so accurately. 60 yards, just... I don't struggle with it at all. I wouldn't ever shoot a deer at 60 yards. I probably wouldn't shoot a deer past 40, but I can hold a really good group at 60, versus I don't do well even at 40 yards with like a 32-inch. The Freedom Flinger, that's the one. May have a Freedom Flinger 2.0. I really hope so. I'm sure, like, I can only imagine those poor guys. Like, everybody's talking about sponsorships and stuff at the ATA show. There's probably a million people that they've, you know, promised different things to, so we'll see where it ends up, but I hope that happens. What would a Way the Hunter have to do to make birds fun? Probably blinds. Like some form of attraction, or even... So this is unconfirmed stuff in Call of the Wild, but I specifically remember when Canada Geese came out on Hirschfelden, mallards were already a thing on Layton, and one of the devs on EW's official stream said something to the effect of, the geese spawn near you, unlike mallards that are persistent on the map. So I think, like, if there's decoys around or something, they're probably more likely to spawn, or something like that. I'm just guessing that's how something like that would work. So, decoys in Way the Hunter maybe makes the flocks more likely to spawn, a way to, like, call them in and get them in range and all that, and then realistic flight patterns and stuff, because the way they fly right now is not exactly, you know, the most realistic looking thing ever. Something ran this way. I still hear it. I don't see it, but it was around. It's kind of neat there's Gensbuck down here. Oh, Widgeon. I heard him. You guys have any, boy, bigger than level 1 friends? 1, 2 in there? These are the shots I'm supposed to be able to hit, but no promises. Is it you? It is you. Boy, they're fast. These aren't even close. Oh my goodness. Nobody has seen any of these shots yet. Oh, never mind. Meant to do that. I was just giving them false hope. I already see where this is going. I haven't read the rest of it yet, bottom boy. If my bow had been 35-inch axle-to-axle instead of 30, you would have caught it? Definitely. I'm still upset that's not on video, because I can only imagine the look I gave you. And people are sitting there like, what are you talking about? That video, by the way, is a little over 2 weeks away. So... when I was hunting with Bottom Boy in West Virginia, I was, like, approaching his stand to try to, like, grab his bow as he was letting it down on the haul rope, and something on the haul rope just came loose, and the bow dropped the last 8 feet or so. I can only imagine, like, the look of shock that I must have had, and frankly, I can't even remember if you had a look of shock. You must have, but it was just like, what just happened? Fine art duck hunting, that is. You like that one? I just give him a little false hope like they're gonna get away. It's fair chase. Or something. Can you recommend me some rifle in real life? Are you looking for a hunting rifle? And if so, what are you looking to hunt? Sabotage? Yes. Derrick Card of the Saints is looking a little bit likely there. That'd be interesting. You know where we need to go? And we'll stay true to the title of the stream and wander our way up. Man, I thought that was an albino wildebeest again. Up there is where we had all those widgeon in yesterday's videos, so we'll go up there. Are you going to put all these misses in the video? I usually don't make a video out of the streams. There may be, if something entertaining or epic happens, we may have a clip for the new clips channel that's in the works, but otherwise, probably won't have like a highlight video or anything. That's a potential diamond gold level 4 in a long shot. Slow down. Where are you going? We can hit him on the walk. I don't feel good about on the trot. Any day now. Oh, perfect. Did we get him? Maybe. Dropping slower than I would have guessed. Do a video of all the tree kills you have. Oh, like... I was very confused, but now I understand. When did Drew Brees retire? End of the 2020 season, I think? I bet there's a lot of good wildebeest on this map that we're just missing. This map would benefit from a long-range DLC so much. You know, the games like... Because Hunting Sim 2 even had like a long render distance, and then obviously Way the Hunter. You can shoot like a kilometer, and I realize Call of the Wild is like a very different mold, and one of Call of the Wild's selling points is the realistic graphics and stuff. It would just be so great to be able to shoot 500, 600, 700 meters instead. He retired Soup after the Buccaneers game, in which he threw like 3 interceptions. You're talking about the Rams one, I'm guessing? You shot a diamond wild boar. Nice. Which map? Should try a small game bow hunting for a Meat Hunters episode. I've almost... Oh, I forgot about the ducks. I've almost considered doing something like that. I was going to try to shoot a squirrel with the bow this year when I was just deer hunting. I was ready to head back and one showed up, but it wouldn't sit still. And then I don't even know, I might have the GoPro going or something. I don't think I had the main camera on it, but I didn't even end up sending an arrow. Yeah, he was Soup, but he played another 2 or 3 years after that. Like the next year was, how did that go? I think it was Minneapolis Miracle, then the Rams game, and then losing to the Vikings in overtime on a potential offensive pass interference no call, and then losing to the Buccaneers. Like, it was 4 years in a row of just oofs for them, which was unfortunate because Breeze deserved more than one ring. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? It was a good game. I wish, as a fan, that flag at the end wouldn't have been thrown because I think it would have made for a more interesting ending, but you know, there were maybe like 3 or 4 penalties all game. It wasn't like the refs took over. It just sucks that it was in that moment. And you can say that just as much about the ref throwing the flag as Bradbury grabbing. Because if he just, let's say he just lets Juju go and he scores a touchdown, the Eagles are down 7 and have a chance to tie it. Whereas instead, flag gets thrown, they might as well have never touched the ball again. They did, but, you know, barely. Opinion on red squirrel. They're squirrels, but small and red. I've never, to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever actually, like, hunted for them for meat. When I was 12, 13, somewhere in there, they were a bit of a problem. Like, they were getting into my dad's corn crib and actually causing a fair bit of damage, so he had me on pest control with my pellet gun. But I don't think we've ever actually kept one. A lot of that's in the summer, too, when they're covered in ticks and all that stuff. I think it's the exact same score as the other, is it not? Want to see what I was doing before the stream, by the way, shooting geese. 37 flat, 30, that's not it. Yeah. It was 0.02 or something, but that's not showing in the thing. Off to the other lake. Chia pets. Wait, what? Did deer grow when you're offline? No, even in Way the Hunter where deer do, in fact, age and grow. Gotta be online. Lamar left Baltimore? Did I miss something today? Look at them bunnies. Hey, Mel, I found them. Small, 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 small. Oh, right in the head. That wasn't even the one I was aiming at. That wasn't even close. When are you getting your deer mount back? So literally right after the stream, I'm going to text the taxidermist. Let me tell you the situation. So, all throughout 2022, like every, I don't know, 2 months, I just text him like, hey, did you get the hide back from the tannery or whatever? Like, should I come up? Because I haven't even picked out a form yet. But some of you guys are going to be like, what the heck? But I promise it's fine. And he'd be like, yeah, you know, after, ooh, that's a good one. You know, after the season or whatever, I'll get the hides back and then we can get that started for you. So, waiting on that, right before Christmas, I text him, he's like, yeah, I got the hides back, let's do that. So, I tried to set up a time, that didn't work, he was busy. We had to go to Colorado, and then we got back, had COVID, it's just been a mess, but hopefully here in the next day or two, I'll at least get that picked out and get the process going. It shouldn't be terribly long from then. Brett Favre's at it again? What now? What's Brett Favre doing? Never getting the deer back? Don't you be negative. Just got my mount back the other day from my October buck. That's wild, because it seems like most taxidermists right now are pushing a year and a half, 2 years, like guys that have high volume because they're getting behind on stuff. COVID kind of did a lot of that. It slowed down the whole process. What are you shooting at? I was trying to do there was shoot the clouds around the ducks, put some holes in them, just to kind of scare them a little bit. I don't want to hurt them. Do you think a group of footballers would ever take a pay cut to form a super team to win the Super Bowl or form a dynasty? Probably not now, especially after the Damar Hamlin situation, because everybody saw on full display, like, the type of risks you're potentially taking just by being out there. How long will the duck shooting joke run? Is this our sitcoms running joke? I'm never going to admit to being bad. I mean, what? Long time, it's a good joke. Is Wave Hunter less fun than Hunter Call the Wild? It depends on what you're looking for, like in a hunting game, to be honest. I think if you're after like a realistic hunting sim, and you're, you know, willing to put in the time and all that good stuff, you're gonna enjoy Way the Hunter more than Call of the Wild. But if you just want to, you know, go shoot some stuff, have good odds of finding like trophy animals and all that, Call of the Wild is gonna be more fun. See my buck on a Bass Pro mount? I know he still has it. Like, it'll be fine. Oh, thanks, Kyla. I was like, oh no, did I not mute? Because I just sneezed, like, into the mic, basically. There's been a bunch of fairly thick level 4 wildebeest today. That couldn't have been a lung shot. Probably a skull hit. What are rare fur types for mallards? I think blonde is actually the most rare now, which is funny because it used to be an uncommon. There's piebald, melanistic, brown hybrid, leucistic. Like, there's a number of rares, and they're more rare than they used to be, but it's generally considered to be the case that most rare ducks really aren't that rare. Lions Matt, yeah, no, I don't know what he was complaining about over there. Maybe missing the playoffs. Hello, guys that I can't spot. What's up? How do I say your name? Nelvux? Am I close? Hopefully, possibly. Oh, the defamation thing. Yeah, that's not going to go well for Favre. I did see that. Guess we'll try this again. There's the time I was good at this. If you can't tell, now is not that time. Just leucistic, mela, and blondes are rare. Okay, there you go. What about leucistic turkeys? I think all leucistic turkeys are rare. Sometime, it was for a while, on SRP, pretty much any rare turkey wasn't actually rare, but That got changed maybe with the Reventuli update, or maybe even before that, and they are actually quite rare now. Shoo! This guy doesn't even know what's rare anymore. I know, it's such a shame. I used to have, like, literally every answer for that stuff, but all the changes and everything, like, I can't keep track of it anymore. Got a gold Harley female. Is that rare or no? I don't know. I feel like that used to be, like, uncommon, kind of, but it would happen. Smoked. Memorize the spreadsheet? I never, holy, we're an hour into this? Good lord. This is why Vurhonga is a good map, because I thought this has been like 20 minutes. I never really, like, relied on the spreadsheet in the past to remember stuff, but since the changes, I do have to go to it fairly often. Like, today I'm gonna hunt... Hey, there's that guy. Anyway, today I'm gonna hunt, who knows, something in a feed zone. There's no way I know anything's feed times. All that stuff got changed so much that I'm just way behind on it and can't keep up. What was the other thing we shot? Jackal. I really want a new lodge and sorting the trophies. The trophy sorting to me is a must. That, and maybe they've since fixed it, I haven't tried it in a while, but it used to be the case that when you would hit the delete button in the trophy lodge to delete a trophy, it would delete from your trophy manager, like, for the... How did that miss? That's a lot further than I thought. Hang on, I'm bad. Anyway, it would delete for that session, and then when you'd start the game up again, they'd be back. And I want to delete a bunch of old stuff. Basically, some of you guys will recall that I wanted to do a Trophy Lodge stream like a year and a half ago and never did it. What I want to do is delete basically everything that's not good, and be able to do that stream without having to spend 12 years scrolling between everything. I forgot my lion? I shot a lion. Is that what this was? I genuinely don't... I don't remember shooting it. That miss was like me with your muzzler on your vid? I think I shot under its chest, kinda. Because it was way further than I thought. Can't say I've seen that bug. When I delete something, it scrolls back to the top. And then, like, when you come back, say you quit the game and come back later, is it deleted for good? What's the best way to get a big rat Cape Buffalo? Probably the fastest way, to be honest, would be... Where's this thing at? I'm losing track of all the things we kill. Anyway, I think the fastest way would probably be to go to multiplayer, look for sessions that are between 9 and 12, and basically run up this coast. You could start all the way in the southwest corner. You could start, you know, from this lodge and go all the way wrapping up around. It's insane how many buffalo are there. You should a potential diamond beastie boy. I should? I should indeed. Eh. So if that angle is actually right, I think that shot would have hit lungs, but I don't think that's what happened. Okay. You're good. Good up. It's like Shadow. That never would have bothered me, and then we got Shadow, and she yaps at the neighbors or something for so long, it drives me nuts. Shot holy spelling? It's all good. Is the bunny hotspot still a thing? I don't think so. Is that Reventuli? The redistributions and population resets and stuff? I believe the rabbits got moved around too. Now none of them are, like, spawning. At least I can't miss them. Shadow plays chess. Yes, she does. Best map for ground and whitetail? We were talking about this earlier in relation to potential acoustia being added someday. It was Rancho for a long time, like, indisputably. I kind of think now it's probably Reventuli, to be honest. Server hopping around the shore? Yeah, I think that'd be the fastest way. If you want to grind, you know, you can do the same thing, run that shore and just shoot all your males, but Diamond Cape Buffalo are not as rare as they kind of seem at first, so you could probably do it in multiplayer faster. Does every map have a great one? No. There's only 4 species that can be great ones, but they're spread across most maps by now. Whitetail, red deer, black bear, and moose, which gets you everything except for Vurhonga Savanna. That's it. Is that right? I think so. That makes Great One Lions or Cape Buffalo or something a little more interesting. It's the one map with that one all of a sudden. I know they've been sticking to the base game theme, and I think I saw posted in Discord that Beard had said on stream recently that they're probably not going to stray from the base game Great Ones for a bit yet, but it's interesting. What about the Buffalo hotspot? That one also has kind of changed, but essentially the entirety of the coast from like literally the bottom corner up, it actually goes further down too, but I never go down here. It's kind of brushy. But if you follow this waterway all the way up around, there's Cape Buffalo everywhere. That whole thing might as well be a hotspot. Gotta admit, if Rodgers goes to the Raiders, the AFC West will be the best quarterback division in the NFL, possibly in history. That was said last year when Russ went to the Broncos, though, and he was terrible, so we would have to assume that Rodgers would play well. If he does play well, then yes. I mean, fair enough, Danny, but I don't think it was then corrected, so I assume it was accurate information. You know what never occurred to me until somebody asked it yesterday or 2 days ago on Discord? Dark fur type Gemsbucker are rare now. Do you use collars? Rarely. I'll use them for waterfowl. That's about it, and it's kind of because the meta, I guess to call it that, in Call of the Wild is typically to like cover a lot of ground, basically run everywhere and try to see as many zones as possible. You know, go and hunt something in their drink time and hop from lake to lake, more or less. And what that often causes is animals spooking. So, once they're spooked, they're nervous, you can't call them in. I find that it's a lot of times better to use that inventory space with something else other than the collars. What is your most wanted trophy animal in Call of the Wild right now? Most wanted is probably different than like my dream trophy. It's probably just a diamond raccoon dog, because I feel like that's the one that's a problem. I have been shooting gray lag and tundra bean geese over on Reventuli a bit here, just trying to get those diamonds out of the way. And then other than those two, there's the raccoon dog obviously, which, you know, if I could get that, that would be great. And then just widgeon and bobcat. So we're not terribly far from having all the diamonds in the game, but I feel like the raccoon dog is going to be tough. Reload your 22. Why don't you reload my 22 for me? Maybe I wanted 2 rounds in there. Do you deer hunt in real life, and what gun do you use? Yes, I used a 30-30. Well, I used a 243 for like 2 years when I was 10. Then I used a 30-30 for like 10 years. Now I use a 7mm Mod 8, and I would recommend that to literally anybody. I love that thing. I have shot now 5 deer with it, plus Kyla shot a doe with it. I haven't tracked anything. Just walked right to it. They've either dropped in their tracks or fallen in sight. That's about all I can ask for out of, you know, a hunting rifle. Every deer I've shot with it I've hit in the heart too, so it's pretty darn accurate. Why do I try? Is the scent eliminator useless? You know, I can't even answer that. I haven't used that stuff in so long. So there was a time, and I don't even know how anybody figured this out, but it used to be, if you use the scent eliminator for some bizarre reason, it only worked if you stayed put. If you then moved, it was as if you just didn't even use it. Maybe they've fixed that by now, I don't know. But yeah, I never mess with it. You don't even have to play the wind too much in this game. I mean, 150 meters is pretty far. if you're running and the wind's bad, it might be like 130 when stuff spooks. But again, like there's not that big of a drawback to spooking stuff in this game. In Classic or in Way the Hunter, you spook stuff, you're adding 10, 15, 20 minutes to your hunt until you kill that animal. Spook something in Call of the Wild, it might run 300 meters, turn broadside, you can kill it. It's just a very different thing. Had to work today, but my buddies are in our snow goose pit, 108 snows and counting. Good lord. What's the limit? I'm sure it's a per person limit, but still, I'm curious. Do you have a diamond with every weapon still? I think. What was the newest one? The inline. Did I kill a diamond with the inline? We might not have one with that. I don't remember doing it. Might have a video idea for later this week, though. Big mail. No limit on snows in some places. Really? I didn't know that. Do you have a diamond with the Glock? If I remember right, that one was technically in early access for the handguns. But yes, got a diamond whitetail with it. Watching it work, and you are making the time fly. Honestly, perhaps it's me, perhaps it's the map, because time is flying for me too. Which some streams that just doesn't happen. Like, God, to be honest, grinding streams lately have just drug on. They've been a little rough as of late, but Vurhonga I just love this map. It's such a good go and chill for 2 hours and have a good time map. There's non-conservation season and no plugs in the guns. Are they considered like, this is probably a stupid question, but I don't do much waterfowl hunting. Are they considered like an invasive then, or are there just, is the population that healthy that it's literally fine? Great One Roadie would be incredible. You could almost just take, which, you know, Call of the Wild seemingly has taken a couple things from Way the Hunter already, but you could almost just take Way the Hunter 5-star racks, maybe embellish them a little bit, call it a Great One. Unique fur, obviously, too, because that's a big thing they've leaned into. Made my day when I saw this stream. Because of Vurhonga? I missed streaming it. Because I like making videos on it and stuff too, obviously, but it's such a streamable map. Like, you find a lot of stuff, you don't have to, like, really struggle to... Maybe this is a me thing, but you don't have to struggle to worry about not spooking things. I have a tendency when streaming to spook things that are in front of me. If you've watched my Way the Hunter streams, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'll sneak forward, and then I answer a question, and I forget that I'm sneaking, and then I spook stuff. Not a big deal on this map. Man, I felt like I got that. I feel like every time we've shot today, we hear lions spooking in the distance. I can't see it now. Did the ducks ever break? No. What is the camo on the gun used to shoot the female lion? This is the, I don't know if it's called tiger stripe camo or something, but it's the Vurhonga map camo you get. Shot a 5-star mountain goat and bighorn Way the Hunter 2 days of having it. That's wild, man. Took me quite some time to have any luck with 5 stars. That's awesome. 2, like, difficult ones to get, I would say, generally as well. What time is it? 10? Cape Buffalo would be drinking, but I think we're just gonna keep running around, go through the middle of the meadows and plains and stuff. I hear him again. There we go. It's a big flock. Mostly that's interesting to me because I haven't seen a lot of big flocks. This is probably one that we haven't encountered. Because who knows how many times we've seen like the same flock and stuff. I imagine that happens more than we might think. That one was very doable before it started turning. Should have had that. Well. I think I had 1,250 rounds. So I think we've missed 130 times. Today. It's a little rough. Shot a leucistic reindeer medved yesterday. 8 points from being gold. They're tough, man. I don't know why that came up. Oh, I know why it was. We were talking about, on some stream recently, the caribou coming to Way the Hunter and hoping the antlers are going to be good. And I was remembering how reindeer before true racks, many of them were golds. The Like, low golds were not that big, and then the diamonds still got decent size, but there was like a almost exponential scaling to them. Like, it didn't scale like most animals' antlers do, but you got, I don't know, 50% of males making gold. Now it feels like it's 10%. Getting a gold reindeer anymore actually seems like a feat, which back in the day, most rares seemed to be golds. I really just be better off with trying to hit them with the 338 or something. Just for fun. I don't know where it went, but I guess we didn't get it. What Vurhonga great one would you like to see? It's kind of a tie between Lions and Cape Buffalo. I think both would be cool. The idea, though, of a Cape Buffalo great one, maybe do like one horn being chipped or like busted off a little bit, not entirely, but like broken in some way, indicating like fighting and stuff. Maybe some scars, but I think there should be a lion skull hooked over the horn. I think that'd be really neat. Imagine 400 people sticking around watching you miss over and over. Well, that at least tells you that they're not here for quality shooting instructions. What'd you think of Chris Stapleton last night? I thought he did great, but here was the thing. We get to like, I don't know, not quite the halfway point of the anthem, and suddenly there are questions from my family all over. Who's that guy? That's Chris Stapleton. Who's that? A country singer. Oh, really? He's a country singer. Do I know any of his songs? You know Tennessee Whiskey? No. And next thing you know, the anthem's over, and I only got to hear the first half. Just kept on asking me so many questions. I'm like, wait till the end. I want to hear this. Do you have every 5-star on Des Purse? I don't have Snowshoe Hare. I don't have Red Fox. I think that's it. What you doing for Valentine's Day? I don't know if we're doing anything crazy other than, I mean, if you mean content-wise, Kyle and I both have a collab video coming out. So a little bit of Valentine's Day events will be getting those, you know, wrapped up, editing, thumbnails, all that good stuff tomorrow morning. But we're basically staying home, making steaks, hanging out. Neither of us want to go to a restaurant when there's going to be extra crowds, so not doing that. Never heard of Chris Stapleton before last night. Really, he's got some great songs. Tennessee Whiskey would be the one you're most likely to know, I think. Giggling? Yeah, we're doing that. Chris Stapleton is from Staffordsville, Kentucky, and I'm near there every Tuesday and Friday on my routes. Cool. He's got a very unique voice. I don't think I could have placed where he's from, because I don't think I've ever heard him speak outside of singing, and he doesn't sing with like a overly like expressive voice, so you don't hear a lot of accent in it. You gonna live stream Wait the Hunter anytime soon? I wouldn't be shocked if we do it Friday. I almost live streamed it today, but I really wanted to just like have a chill type of thing, because I knew we'd talk about the Super Bowl a good bit and stuff, and I was just saying, like, I have a tendency when talking to chat and just having a conversation that I'm really engaged with, I just spook stuff all the time and never, yeah, it doesn't work good in Way the Hunter. I just never kill anything. Did you bet on the game? Yeah, I did a bunch of like small bets. I had like $29 or something left in my account, and I literally bet all of it on different things. I think I ended up with 44 or so generally made a little bit of money, but didn't do anything crazy. Actually, every bet I did hit, except for like a random, I put the last $6 I had on a parlay that was never going to hit, but, you know. I had Kelsey's over for receiving yards, both quarterbacks over for rushing yards, Chiefs to win, and there's one other. I don't know what it was. Oh, Kelsey to score a touchdown, I think. If you had live stream Wait the Hunter, we wouldn't have been blessed with your duck hunting. It's very true. I did want to put on a clinic today, too. This is the one place that we have a widgeon setup, so maybe some will be landed out there. That would certainly be nice. I'd have a little better chance of hitting them. What's the best map for whitetail? Great one. If you want to grind for them, at least, I'd say Riven to the Coast. You like Way the Hunter more than Call of the Wild. I think Way the Hunter is a more realistic hunting game, and I do find it to be like a little bit more... And part of it's probably because it's new, but I find it to be a little more like engaging, I guess. And you know, you get 6,000 hours in the game, you can probably play without paying a ton of attention. But I can generally be fairly successful in Call of the Wild without really focusing. If I'm not focusing on Way the Hunter, I'm going to kill 3 animals, you know? So I like that kind of stuff, but it can be too much. There's days where, especially in hunting season, like you guys probably noticed I didn't do any Way the Hunter content basically all of hunting season. If I hunt all day, and I get home, and I want to go to bed, the last thing I want to do is like really struggle to kill 7 animals in 3 hours, so that I'm going straight to Call of the Wild. So they both have a place. I was hoping the Yankees would win the Super Bowl. Holy! I think them and the Browns have the same chance. That wasn't right. Who said that? You're not a Penguins fan? I mean, I guess technically I don't follow hockey, so I root for them because they're the local team, but couldn't tell you who's, you know, doing well or anything this year. Pretty sure Sid Crosby's still there. Pretty sure. What's up, Jake? The creepy part that bugs me about Way the Hunter is the animals twitching on the ground when they're dead. Yeah, they do kind of jitter there, don't they? What do you do for work? This, January of 2018, I think. I went full-time with content creation, so it's been a little over 5 years. Been an incredible ride, and I definitely, it's not lost on me that I was rather fortunate in the timing of everything. When I, like, officially committed to doing YouTube full-time, Call of the Wild dropped on console, like, I don't know, less than a month later, and it just blew up at the perfect timing right when I was starting to, you know, release content more frequently. Only like you, me, and Stephon Diggs bet on the Chiefs, not literally, but close. I was going to talk about that. I'm glad you asked about the betting thing, because that reminded me. There was so many, like, this has never happened before. So, or streaks have been not happening. So, like, the NFL MVP hadn't won the Super Bowl since Warner in '99. The NFL leader in passing yards had never won the Super Bowl. There's a long streak of opposing fans putting their jersey on the Rocky statue in Philly, and that team doesn't fare well. There was one more. There was something else that, like, this streak hadn't happened in a long time. And typically, when I bet any streak of that kind, I end up losing. So, for instance, the Saints have beaten Tom Brady and the Buccaneers like 4 times in a row, going into this year, I think. So I finally said, you know what? We're going to ride the wave. Going to bet the Saints today. They lost. Stuff like that. So I was just, this time with all those things that seemed to be against the Chiefs, I just had a feeling that it might go the other way. Balboa's a Chiefs fan? Is he? Or are you just going with the fact that they had the jersey on him? You know, we're far enough away here. I can't promise I'll hit them, but we could maybe get a couple of those. Get a couple of respawns going here. That guy's got a nice little mohawk. Oh, close. Now we gotta wait. Just joking. Hey, I thought it was possible. For some reason, only for your videos, my YouTube has buffering issues with starting the videos. It's unique to your channel, and I have no idea how I would fix it. So, funny you say that, because I've had that with different channels too. And actually, I don't even know that it's channels so much as it's like specific content. So, you probably know TK and I both upload videos to the Meat Hunters channel. Oftentimes, I'll have buffering issues with his content on the Meat Hunters channel. I don't know if it's a bitrate thing. Maybe I could upload in a lower bitrate and that could be why, but I can't imagine that that would make sense because YouTube has a cap for that. It's like 8,000 megabytes per second. So, I don't know why it does that, but that apparently is an issue that YouTube has. Where'd that other fella go? Did he fly away? I don't think he did, because that's not really a thing. If you spook one in a flock, they all go. That was a dome shot. Well, I don't know where the friend went, but got a bunch of them. Smoked. Has he gotten any diamonds yet? Nothing really even remotely close. I think we shot 3 level 4 wildebeest that technically had a chance, but, you know, small chance. Where Cape Buffalo on the map? Mostly these days along the coast. Like, the entirety, basically draw a line down the middle. Everything on the eastern side along the water is really good. Especially during your drink time, obviously, which is, I think, 9 to 12 now? The blood on those ducks? Dude, so I don't want to spoil it. One thing that I'm going to do with the Clips channel, at least on occasion, is a little bit of exclusive content. And I figured out something with that I think is going to make for some pretty quality content. And that is as far as I'll go with it, because I think it's going to be fun. Where is this dude that's out here quacking? Is it the one on the ground? I think it might be. Hello? Wait. Oh, I thought he was in with the decoys. I think it's the one on the ground. We'll just hope that he pops out of there. You should hunt some fox squirrels in West Virginia next time you go? I think I saw one when I was down there. That could be kind of fun. I hear you. Where are you? More of them up there. I've never heard them whistle before. It's kind of neat. Favorite duck species? At least in the game? Probably green-winged teal. I like all the new ones generally, but the green-winged teal are pretty neat. They have some very cool rares. Like the purplish ones. They're really cool looking. Still never did figure out who's quacking. Anyway, let's scoot across here. I don't know what's in here anymore, but this used to be a really good area to go through. Favorite great one? I like how you guys both asked that at the same time. I'm assuming you're asking, like, favorite of the 4 species, because if I had to pick between my whitetail and my red deer to go with the whitetail, the moose as a species are my favorite great one. I think they epitomize what a great one should be. The theming of it all, like the way that they named the furs, like with mostly if not all tree type. I guess speckled wouldn't be, but the rest are types of trees. I just think it really fits everything well. They look great. All the furs are good. The antlers are good. I just don't have one, and that makes me sad. Purple green-winged teal? I'm talking about Eurasian teal now, aren't I? I might be. Well, maybe they have the same rares. I was kind of guessing they might, but maybe they don't. But along that same vein, someone was just asking if anyone had seen any of the Eurasian teal, the green, purple ones being shot, and I don't know if anyone has. Here we go again. Shooting through an entire migration of ducks, and I still can't hit one. Nice. I guess it was just this one. It looked almost white taken off there. I want you to get a great one. Bear, you deserve them all. I really want the bear. I want the moose because I think, as I said, like, they're the epitome of a great one. But we have a lot of time in for that black bear, and had I known, and probably a lot of people feel this way, but had I known they were going to change the black bear drink time to night, I'd have put in twice as much time while they were still drinking in the day, but, you know, we're here now, so no point regretting that. What brand's your 7mm in real life? I think you know what your... I'm having a hard time saying this. I think you know that I have a 7mm Mod 8, but just in case, I want to make that clarification. It's a Weatherby Vanguard, though. How many kills have you gotten your moose grind so far? About 1,400. We've been making some progress as of late, putting some time in, but, you know, it's been slow. Part of it is because it was in hunting season and stuff, and part is just because I'm worn out with grinding generally. Have you seen the hybrid golden eagle? Golden eagle or golden eye? Golden eagle. Why would you ask me about a golden eagle? I don't know. Have I seen the hybrid golden eye? I've seen eclipse. I don't know if I've seen the hybrid, no. Yeah, that probably wasn't it, Clark? If you look at them standing side by side, I'm not sure Terry isn't bigger than Andy anyway. Waddle over here. I know. What was he doing? If you used the 410 handgun, you would get a diamond? Do you have proof of that? As far as I know, they must have scrapped them or something because they were in that one image before eventually released and none have been shot. That's a shame because they're cool. I've seen 007 GoldenEye. Isn't that a video game too? Started my Hunter's Ed class today. There you go. Nice. Look at them guys way out there. My favorite animal to hunt in Call of the Wild are geese, which you said were the best money-making animal to hunt. They were for a long time. I actually don't think they're the best anymore, but they're still up there. Which, does it matter? Like, Canada geese? Or do you prefer the gray legs, tundra bean geese? That dude just popped out a render, but didn't look big. The game is... Don't you lie to me, Soup. You almost had me for a second. When's this heckin' new map and Way of the Hunter coming? Well, they said maybe the 23rd, so potentially 10 days. Just for that, I'm gonna show you how to kill a widgeon, Soup. So you lull them to sleep with a sense of false security, pretending like you have zero chance at hitting them, and then they get away. Tyreek or Justin Jefferson? As in who I think is better. I'd go with Jefferson, probably. Hill's really good too, but Jefferson's doing stuff that's pretty unheard of. Why can I never find the wild boars? They're a funny species, like... If you catch them in between zones and stuff, they seem to be everywhere just traveling. But while they're resting or feeding, they're generally in brush and stuff and hard to see. Do you hunt in real life? Yes. There are... This is the 4th season, like the videos are just starting to come out of filming my real life hunts, but 2019, 2020, 2021, all those videos are on this channel from real life hunting. I've filmed every deer that I've shot since 2019, and I think there are 13 or 14 now. It was 3 in 19, 3 in 20, 2 in 21, so that's 8. And then I got 5 this year, but those videos aren't out yet, so it will be 13. Really hope they add doll sheep in Way of the Hunter. I thought there would be sheep on that map. Maybe there are and they haven't revealed them, but it's seeming to me that everything's kind of been revealed by now. That or they're just, you know, waiting for the map to drop, but that feels like a species that would fit. What have you killed more with, a gun or a car? I shouldn't even say this out loud. I've never hit a deer with a car. The closest, I've been pretty close a couple times, but the closest recently, it's like November 5th, 6th, something like that. We hunted all day, and it's about a 35-minute drive from my parents' property back to home here. And Dad literally said, like, you know, you didn't get one with your bow, don't hit one on the way home. And we were like 10 minutes into the drive, and this little 5-point comes flying out of the field. And to be honest, we're probably making contact. I don't think I'm getting stopped. But he makes a 90-degree turn and basically runs alongside us for a little ways. And then luckily went back the other way and went back into the field. But we were pretty close to smoking that one. Nothing big. Kind of cool to see wildebeest up there again. Hey. I didn't even know buffalo drank here now. I guess we'll try to get one. Had a bear swipe you? I did have that happen, yeah. I have had a bear smoke my truck when I wasn't in it. How have you not hit a deer? I don't know. Lucky, I guess. When did you shoot your first buck? I was 10 years old. This was 2007. It was November 29th, I believe. What's your biggest tip for hunting in real life? Because I'm going on my first hunt tomorrow. I guess my question would be, what are you hunting? It's a tough angle. We're better off broadside, actually. I've never hit a deer. One did hit me, though. Well, that's... Unfortunately, that happens sometimes, too. Remember Super Bowl 55 when Mahomes hit Tyreek right in the face mask and Tyreek didn't even raise his hands because he didn't believe Pat could make the throw? Are you talking about the one where he was, like, basically parallel with the ground? He was falling down as he threw it? I didn't think that was Tyreek Hill, but I saw someone else say it, too, so maybe it was. Chinese water deer. Okay, so I know literally nothing about them, and I don't know how they're hunted, but if I were to try to just kind of put some general hunting tips out there, first of all, I assume you've practiced a decent amount with your gun or bow. That would be something to still do today if you haven't done it. Get some practice in. And just, you gotta wait for like a good, clean shot opportunity. It's tough. Like, it's really hard to not be trigger happy, especially with your first one, but it's important that your mental approach is right. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's just like a really intense level of focus. If you're not super focused on making the shot and like, you know, going through your, you know, some guys have like a checklist, like breathe, exhale, whatever next steps, we'll just go with, you know, gently squeeze the trigger, all these types of things. I don't have like a checklist, but it's just like the only thing that exists in that moment is like the deer and whatever arrow or bullet I'm sending its way. I bet you are always super focused, Soup. Only take a shot that's going to kill the animal. Yeah, there's a lot of like, and Pennsylvania's famous for it. There's a lot of, there's a deer, shoot to hit it, and then try to track it down and find it later. That's not a good approach. What's your dream super rare? I really want specifically like the bigger horn. So I'd be talking about like 157 trophy rating plus. Leucistic Diamond Cape Buffalo. Do you think they should add squirrels to Way the Hunter? It would be nice, but the one kind of like concern I would have is none of the small game in Way the Hunter is that good. So they'd have to work on the AI and stuff a lot. Doe headbutted my driver door 30 seconds from a hunting property. Was hoping a doe would walk by me with blue paint on her forehead. That would have been awesome. I don't know if I know any, like I've heard of that happening. I don't know if I know anybody personally that's had a deer run into them. We did, I don't know where we were going, but we had a, I forget if it was a pheasant or a grouse. I was pretty young. Fly right into our door like that though. And I guess we are past Cape Buffalo drink time. Nice. Probably run into some out here as we're wandering. I don't even know where to, just kind of going. I think there's still a Cape Buffalo chasing us somewhere too. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I sure did. What do you think about Way the Hunter currently? I think with Aurora Shores coming and the crossbow and everything, they're in a really good place. Now, major content updates and stuff can certainly cause problems, so I'll wait for like a smooth release before I make a 100% judgment on this, but if they can generally have Aurora Shores release go pretty smoothly, you know, no game-breaking bugs and stuff, I think they're in a really good spot going forward as far as, like, you know, what percentage of the overall hunting simulation game pie they take up, because they've done an amazing job with their game so far, and they definitely, like, they appear to listen to the community, they try to integrate things that people are asking for, and they're really quick on fixing issues. All that stuff's, like, super encouraging, and the content's good, too. It's not like... I can't even think of an example, but I wouldn't want to name names anyway. There's some games out there where, like, the devs are awesome, and, like, you know, same things. They listen to the community, they fix things quick, but the game itself maybe isn't that good. Way the Hunter's a great game, and they do that. Glimmer. Do you follow F1 at all? I do not. We were talking about that earlier, the Tubi commercial. I felt like almost every commercial yesterday was kind of just a regular football game commercial. There weren't a lot that was like, oh, that's a Super Bowl commercial. But that kind of left us in a position where there weren't a lot of memorable ones. That Tubi one was very memorable. Everybody knows what you're talking about as soon as you say that. You called the exact score? Did you bet on it by chance? I said it was going to be 27-24. What did it end up? 38-35? I just want to thank the Steelers for Juju. I'm glad he got a ring, because the Steelers fans treated him so poorly. Like, you remember 2020, the Steelers were 11-0, and then lost 4 of their last 5? So many people thought that was basically Juju's fault because he was making TikToks and not, like, practicing or whatever. It was insanely stupid, because he was doing it all year. It only got attention when they started losing, and the fan base just did him dirty, basically, so I'm glad he got a ring. Did you see the flag at the end? Yes. I cannot, like... I can't put into words the correct... description of, like, how I see that. Because I think it was the defensive holding. Bradbury even said so. I don't think, because of the way the game was reffed the rest of the way, that it should have been called. And it also... which this shouldn't be relevant for the refs' minds, but it took away what was a much more entertaining ending. Even if the first play, Hurts goes out and throws a pick and it eventually does the same thing, it still would have been far better than just a flag basically ending it. Vandals full commercial? Was that the Gronk one? Or do they have another? Because it looked like they had a $9 budget for that. Which, you know, I guess if you're giving away $10 million in free bets or whatever, like, no point in doing a huge commercial. Those guys make so much money, though, I'm sure they could afford to do it. Piglets. What do you think of aggressive geese? I mean, we have aggressive capercaillie, why not? I think it'd be a good idea. Maybe a fairly rare occurrence. Where? There they are. We haven't shot a big one in a while. Well, that's a kind of big one. You gotta say stuff like that every now and then to convince the game to make ironic happenings happen. He kicked a flag and broke his toe on his birthday? I do not recall that. I thought his bike got stolen. He did get hurt on his birthday, didn't he? I don't remember that being the cause, but I kind of know what you're talking about. I don't know where that bigger one went. Not that important, but... Dream animal to kill in real life? It's 100% a caribou. I don't have anything else that's really even close to that, like, high up on my list. I'd ideally like to bow hunt them, but when I do any kind of hunt that I don't necessarily think I'll get to do again, I probably want to have the best odds of success that I can, and obviously, you know, gun's going to be higher odds than a bow. I was so happy they missed that first field goal. That was wild. I did not expect that. It wasn't like a chip shot, but it was, you know, anything under 50 you just expect NFL kickers to make anymore. That dude's hiding really well. Smoke his friend and scare him out. Nope. Nope. Well, at least they don't have to track it. Don't die in there? I'm trying, okay. Are they adding compound bows to Wave Hunter? I would imagine that's the next step, but right now crossbows are the only, like, very near future thing being added. Well done. Thanks, man. Like Michael Thomas to get traded then pop off like he did in 2019. I can't imagine. I just feel like there's got to be something going on because he has so consistent injuries now. It's probably going to be challenging for him to... He's probably going to be like a Julio Jones, but not as old. Like play 8 to 10 games a year. Have you ever had a how is that not a vital moment? Yeah. There's definitely, you know, times in the game where it seems like shots go through animals and stuff. Sometimes you think you have the shot lined up perfectly and it just doesn't hit where you expect. It happens. Holy, is that a billion? What's going on? Will Way the Hunter ever compare to Call of the Wild? If your definition of compare to Call of the Wild is have a comparable player base in terms of numbers, probably not. I think in terms of overall, like, hunting simulation, you know, how accurate is it or how realistic is it? I think they already do pretty well. Content volume and all that stuff's going to be important for how, like, good a game is. Call of the Wild's got a huge head start, but Waylander's adding a map already and stuff, so that's good. That's how I see it, Mel. I think there's some, you know, bolt physics, arrow physics, you know, kind of go hand in hand there that they probably can kind of flesh out with the crossbows, and then hopefully vertical bows are maybe the next update down the road or something like that. Crossbow pistol in Call of the Wild? That'd be kind of neat. We have enough rabbits in the game, like, just for them, let alone all the birds and stuff. How about the pile of shoes because of the turf problems? Yeah, what was the deal with that? I was watching the Pat McAfee show. I heard a theory that they overwatered the grass, maybe? Because at first they were talking about maybe the guys were slipping on paint, but apparently that wasn't actually the case. It's just bizarre. I also saw, like, the NFL's been preparing that particular grass because they, like, wheel it in somehow to the stadium for, like, literally 2 years. And it was a disaster. It's just such an embarrassment to have the biggest game of the year not decided by that because both teams had to play on it, but it plays a factor when you're slipping and stuff. Jalen Hurts couldn't get his footing on that last Hail Mary throw. That's why it went 20 yards short. He slipped. Hit a wedge with a crossbow pistol? Oh yeah, I'm sure I could do that. You saw how good I am at shooting him with the 22. Does a blowgun sound like a possible weapon for Call of the Wild? I think what's challenging with anything like that, slingshot, blowgun, spears, things in that category that require... How'd that miss? Sure felt like that should have hit. Anyway, things that require like a really high degree of... I'm going to call it like tactile skill to operate. I don't know how you simulate that in a, you know, button pushing video game. Because there's a fair bit of similarities, even just using a mouse and keyboard or a controller, to aligning the crosshairs on an animal and making the shot. But when you don't have sights, and when there's a particular degree of force behind, you know, how far back you pull a slingshot, or how much air you force through a blowgun, or how hard you throw the spear to compensate for distance and stuff, it's really hard to do something like that in a game and make it feel real. Are they going to release Call of the Wild the Angler on PlayStation ever? I hope. I don't know what's going on. They've just gone silent on the whole console release for the game, and it concerns me. Like, I don't know why. See? I need a crossbow pistol to make it challenging. In the middle of a lake fishing, and somehow I've got connection. Nice. Spears in Call of the Wild. Let's see. We need a Tim Wells thing. DLC. I met him at the ATA show. I should have been like, hey, you wanna sponsor something in Call of the Wild? The Angler needs a lot of improvement before it would be smart to release it on console. That could be it. They may just feel that the game's not good enough, which would probably be a correct assessment. But I wish they'd communicate that. Even if they just said, like, hey, we thought the game was ready to go. It's not. We need to take the time to make it better for you to actually enjoy on your console. I feel like that's an okay statement, because even if the argument is like that's admitting that we're failing, or that's making it look like we're failing, okay, but like you said, it was going to be on console and it's been 6 months and it's not there, so like just tell us something. Tim Wells is the GOAT. His narration style is interesting, and I always wondered what he was like in person. And it's nothing like the narration style that makes me think like, a little bit of cringe or whatever, which maybe my narration style is cringe too, I don't know. But he was just super chill and cool, like, and he and TK had some kind of meeting thing they wanted to do for something, so he was talking to him and I was just kind of standing there and he like, asked my name and stuff, like, hey, nice to meet you. I was like, oh, cool, I was just gonna, not fanboy and freak out. That was kind of neat. I love when non-hunters find it hard to believe that a bow can take out a bear. Yeah, and speaking of TK and stuff, one, kind of mission that he has is to help, like, educate particularly the, like, governments and stuff in Europe on bow hunting, because that's largely why it's illegal. People just don't understand it over there. If you ever operate one for a little while, you can see just how effective and lethal they are, but if you don't, you don't. I'd be so terrified in that situation, Clark. Favorite map besides Layton Lakes? We're on it. Vurhonga Savannah. I think now's a good time for an albino lion to show up. What's up, Help the Best? Gaming Swamp's in here as well. How's it going? How do you stay committed to a Great One grind? It took me 400 kills for a diamond lion, and that's just a diamond? What it comes down to is a desire or motivation to get it. Like, you see that I've done less Great One grinding content recently. It's kind of because, like, I don't see Great Ones as quite having the same luster they used to. For me personally, I'm not saying that if you're doing a grind that you should stop doing one or anything, but yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you watched the red deer grind, literally every single week, 1 or 2 streams and a video hunting red deer. Moose around now, it's like maybe once a week, sometimes taking a break and stuff. Just haven't been able to stick to it as much because they don't quite have the same luster, and it's not because of the animals, it's just because of the tactics that are used to get them and stuff now. I wouldn't even want to be 5 yards from a grizzly if I had glass between us, even at the zoo. I don't know why, that just made me think of Planet Zoo. Almost had an albino goat. He was hit, but I never found him. Feral goat or mountain goat? Start flinging arrows at the birds, probably a better chance, right? What are your thoughts about the 303, like in this game? Assuming you're talking about in-game, I really like it. It's a good gun. The reason we don't use it more is the 308 exists. That's just kind of what it comes down to. The 308's pretty much just as powerful, and it's semi-automatic, and on top of that, the recoil is much lower. And in pretty much every conceivable situation, less recoil is a huge advantage, so naturally you go with it. I keep thinking, this will be the time that I hit it on the first shot, and then I can be not doing this. And yet, here we are. Thoughts on the 6.5 in this game? I think they should reclass it to classes 3 to 7. Keep it the same, you know, same ammo stats, same power that it is, and I think it becomes viable. Because the Mosin is a pretty popular gun and stuff, and it's, you know, it does a good job, but it's like, I think, it's the only class 3 to 7 rifle. The 44 is 3 to 8 or something, which that's basically 3 to 7. It just goes even further. So adding another one into that category would be nice. And, you know, as a 4 to 8, the 303 is better. The M1's better. 30-06 is better. 308's better. I can keep going down the line. Make it 3 to 7, and it's at least, you know, even if it's worse than the Mosin, it's still top 2 in its own class. Like, some people would use it. No Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Why is that? Maybe he's announcing his, he's gonna go play for the Steelers and dethrone Kenny Pickett as the greatest of all time. Did you know that? Kenny Pickett's the GOAT? I knew that. Ran the Mosin for ages. It was an SRP hunt late last year. I started using it again, and we were having a really good time. Like, lots of impressive showings from it. And then some just weird stuff, inaccurate shots and stuff that it seemed like the gun was just off. And I haven't touched it since. Pat said today that Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is still on for tomorrow. Interesting. Oh, I forgot about the whole... Yeah, sitting in the dark for 4 days. He's a different character, that's for sure. I like that idea. Different grain ammo for the same rifles. It's interesting not many games do that. Maybe it's a bigger challenge to, like, have all that different data and make sure everything works properly, but... I mean, we have it with the arrows. You have 300 grain, 420s at least with the compounds, and 600s. I'd imagine you could do it with rifles too. I get, like, you sell more DLCs and stuff if rifles have a very particular function. You can make ammo a DLC too, I guess. Although, they do tend to get complaints if literally anything is a paid DLC, so maybe not. Didn't see the end of the 3-hour podcast? What's that, the show today? I only saw like 20 minutes of it. Him and Rapsheet had a source off today, and Pat's basically like, well, my source is airing himself. A source off. I like that, because I can't think of anybody else that quite has Rapsheet's like status within the NFL. I like that he's just kind of become Pat's guy for that stuff. Still really good at this. Because there were like seemingly some networks and stuff that were like more or less against Pat's show being successful and wouldn't let their guys go on it. Clutch duck time, if only. I has the bad. I'm sure he will, Clark. There's nothing defamatory Pat ever said. Like, literally every sentence was allegedly this, allegedly that, like that. It is literally not defamation to say allegedly anything when there are reports of it. Are you even good at this game? Asking for a friend? What? Who told you that I was good at this game? I'm here to make a complete fool of myself and talk about football. Beans. Did you see the clip of Shannon Sharp catching a guy, filming him, simply walking and going, bruh, really? No. It reminds me of the Mike Tomlin, I'm friggin' working video, though. There's a spider on your wall? Holy! Was that in a video? Or something? DD, it might have been a stream. DD was like streaming or making a video or something, and he saw a spider on his wall and got up and killed it, and he's like, don't worry, I got it. Absolute legend. I hear you. Oh, there you are. I don't even know it was... I think it was facing the right way. I couldn't tell. That was DD? Okay. There is only one DD33 on this earth, and we are blessed that he's in the Call of the Wild community. Hey, my pleasure, winners. It was cool being out here and just, you know, hanging out, shooting stuff. We killed a lot of stuff today. Respawns for future videos and streams and all that. Heck, we killed 20 animals in the last hour, so theoretically in the area of 40, that's up there with, like, grind numbers, and we've just been chilling. I know you're a Steelers fan, but Justin Simmons is better than Minka. He tied for the league lead interceptions alongside Minka, and he missed 5 games? Okay. I don't know who Justin Simmons is. I guess, is he the Broncos safety? Who's the guy on the Titans that's a Simmons? I thought he was Justin Simmons. Who's the Titans defensive tackle? It's something like that. How you feel about my Buffalo Bills? I saw Pat's guys clowning on them because they're basically being annoyed at the 2023 Super Bowl champs already. I hope they win one. They're poor fans. Al Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons. Jay Simmons. Okay, that's who I was thinking of. Wait, is he... I think I do know who Justin Simmons is. Did he block like a field goal or 2 jumping over the line a couple years ago? That's who I'm thinking of. Anyway, we are going to find this line whether it likes it or not. Maybe we'll get one more crack at some ducks. Looks like we will. We'll just try to get that one since it's close. Already spooked makes it 12 times harder. Oh, clutch. The biggest male I've ever seen. It was interesting, I do have to say, Clark. Both the Bills and the 49ers players seem to think that the Chiefs would win that, and they did. Did you know that Hirschfeld means Deerfields in German? I did, but only because, you know, the community has a large range of nationalities and languages and stuff, and I've seen screenshots in German that have the word, I think, Hirsch in like red deer and roe deer and stuff screenshots. So I was like, okay, that means deer. And then Felden wasn't too terribly hard to figure out. So I only knew it from, you know, other screenshots and some context clues. Almost missed the clutch. We did it. Penn State or Pitt? I mean Pitt because Kenny Pickett. I don't follow college, so. Justin Simmons didn't make the Pro Bowl or All-Pro despite tying for the lead league in interceptions. I'd have to see what safeties did. Hate the Bengals, but I love the Bills. I still hate the Bengals by default, like, because of the Pac-Man Jones, Fontes Perfect era, but I actually really like Joe Burrow and those guys, so it's only like a leftover thing. Do you like Kenny Pickett or something? No, not really. I feel like he's... Anybody that, like, Steeler fans just absolutely hate on for no reason, I decide that they're, like, my favorites. Tomlin, Kenny Pickett, Juju Smith-Schuster. It just annoys me when people hate on somebody for unfounded reasons. Anyway, on that really positive note, that's going to do it for the stream. No diamonds, no rares, killed a couple of widgeon, which is more than looked like was going to happen today. And I think we are going to wrap this one up. So, as always, thank you guys for watching today. There is another clip that just dropped over on the Flinter Clips channel if you guys want to go and check that out. It is the Double Diamond Euro Bison from 2018, shot from the same herd with the crossbow. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, thanks for hanging out, thanks for all the support, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video, Valentine's Day collab with Kyla. Bye!